We finally have the World Series that we've been waiting for, a classic David versus Goliath type match. At least that's what a lot of people have been telling me, but the more I look at it, this is actually Goliath versus Goliath, because with the Toronto Blue Jays, you might want to call them the underdog, but don't. The reality of the field makes it clear, this is not some plucky small Cinderella team. The Blue Jays have the 5th highest payroll in baseball, and they play like it. And of course the Dodgers, everyone already considers them Goliath, and they deserve that title. They are supposed to win this series, at least on paper. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. There's a lot to talk about, and I can't just jump into that narrative. Did you know that this is the last World Series entirely judged on human hands? The automated ball strike A.B.S. challenge system is coming for next year's World Series. So basically, AI is coming to take more jobs from people, even at the highest level of the game. But wait, that's even off topic. I gotta focus here. We got 2 teams left with 2 very different kinds of pressure. One is known as the Los Angeles Dodgers, the other the Toronto Blue Jays. And here's what's at stake in this 2025 World Series. Starting with the Dodgers, would I be crazy if I told you that the Dodgers are in the hot seat? And I mean like a blazing hot seat? I know they're defending champions, and they have the payroll that's basically national debt. And they just swept through the NLCS looking like a machine, so what is the pressure for? The pressure isn't if they can win, it's that they're supposed to win. Like I said earlier, everyone pretty much labeled this team the Goliath, and they are. They have the highest paid player, the deepest rotation, and they're coming off a sweep, while their opponent just went through a brutal 7-game war. So if the Dodgers lose, the narrative isn't that the Blue Jays were better, everyone's going to be saying the Dodgers failed. That their $400 million payroll brought them a great regular season team, but not a dynasty. But if they win, I think we can start bringing up that D word. Not Dodgers, but dynasty. And I get it, some fans think 2 titles wouldn't be enough to use the word dynasty, but in baseball that's difficult, especially a back-to-back one. We haven't seen that in like a quarter of a century. They have the potential to be the first repeat champion in 25 years. To me, that would officially kickstart the dynasty talk. It certainly would validate their entire spend big, develop smart model. It proves that in an era where everyone says you can't buy a championship, well, the Dodgers kinda just did one. But wait, they have a potential to buy 2. The only thing standing in their way is Mordecai. Is that not funny? Because he's also a Blue Jay. Anyway, let's flip the script and talk about the Toronto Blue Jays. Again, you might want to call them underdog, but please don't. As I explained, this is another Goliath in their own right. They just gave Vladimir Guerrero Jr. a $500 million, albeit 14-year contract. They went out and signed Max Scherzer. They traded for big contracts. This is a large market team that's finally starting to act like one. So to call them underdogs would be like validating their passive behavior before they got to this point. But they don't want to just stay at this point. They don't want a cute little story. They want what comes next. Their stake is about ending a 32-year drought for the entire country. Canada hasn't won a World Series since 1993. The Blue Jays aren't just playing for a city, they're playing for a whole nation, albeit a nation that has less people than the state of California, so maybe the Dodgers have more pressure there, but again, that's a little off topic. What's very much on topic is their championship window, because I think the Blue Jays have a smaller one than the Dodgers. Think about this. If you look at their roster, George Springer is 35, Kevin Gausman is 34. Their time at the absolute peak of their power is now, if not a few years ago. They have momentum, they're a tried and battle-tested team, and they have a chance to ambush the Dodgers, who might be a little rusty after a week off. A lot of people think that sweeps would help you. Sometimes it could backfire. And so they got to capitalize on that. And this is where the David part comes in, where they call the Blue Jays the David going up against the Dodgers Goliath. It's that the Dodgers are about to become the new evil empire in baseball. It's like they're almost the new Yankees. So they have a potential to stop a dynasty, or at least stop the talks of one, if they win this World Series and win a title for themselves. If the Blue Jays win, it symbolizes that even in a world with financial giants, a well-built, gritty team with its own financial muscle, don't get me wrong, can still take them down. It delivers a cathartic moment for Canada and proves that going all in is worth the risk. If the Dodgers win, it symbolizes that the age of the super team is alive and well. It means money, when spent correctly, can build a dynasty. It puts Shohei Ohtani on path from superstar to legend. So who do you think is going to win this World Series, and who do you think needs it more? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to grand slam that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on. I'm Home Run Rewind, and I'll fast forward to you later.